My name is Tanya Curry, and this is this week's Acumen Media Report. It's entitled Clash of the Titans, a presidential punch-up. Beautiful South Africans, welcome back. Don't groan, I'm cheerful. It's almost 3 weeks since I stuck my head into the media mayhem, so I have on my happy face. Let's see if we can fix that by scratching the surface with Acumen Media. We must take a step backwards to move forward so that you understand how we got here. Presidential punch-up. Ramaphosa was re-elected for president by a large majority. Zweli Mkhize didn't come close. This all happened while Zuma was in the room, looking pretty healthy, I might add. He wasn't happy though. And then the dose of humble pie. Lindiwe Sisulu, Zuma's stooge, received only 25 votes on her nomination. I laughed, and you can too. There was a great deal of warra-warra about vote buying and all those nasties, but ultimately, the Zuma RET faction left with its tail between its legs. Next steps? Call Dali and Mpofu. Good old Dali, hey? So nice to see him back in the courtroom blathering away. I was bored, and then it struck me. He has a point. My friends, there is a clear and present danger lurking in the spurious court drama that is unfolding. This clash of the titans, this war of presidents. It appears our Dali may have a point. I'm no legal person. Well, I studied law but failed accounting, so I can't tell you the legal bits. But I can tell you as a layman that this is how it played out. You're going to laugh in the beginning, or the beninging.
In the beginning. In the beginning. Yeah.
But you are going to have to pick up your jaw at the end. Ubaba said his medical records were leaked by journalists Karen Morn and Billy Downer. Stop right there. You know who Downer is, right? He's the guy taking front and center in the arms deal case. The case that Zuma has tried to dodge like a wasp hanging around his face. Not only that, but this is on top of his contempt of court charge for not appearing at the Zondo Commission and then not going to jail. He said he was too sick, you see, and Arthur Fraser agreed. These same cases brought the July insurrection and terror to South Africa. So Karen and Billy decided to leak his medical certificates. Firstly, there's that word, leak or leaked. What nonsense. And secondly, Morn is a firecracker of a journo. She isn't going to leak something, she's going to run with it. I would say without a shadow of a doubt that this is in the public's best interest to know what dreaded disease Zuma suffers from, apart from a superiority complex that elevates him above our constitution. Zuma has a full plate, and now add to that the annihilation of further presidential aspirations at the ANC conference, and who are you going to call? Dali. And Mpofu, to be fair, has a MasterCard move, simply priceless. He moves to privately prosecute Ramaphosa, not Morn or Downer. Why? Good question. Well, the official answer is Zuma complained to Uncle Cyril about Morn and Downer's behavior, and Ramaphosa didn't do anything. Yes, you read that right, or you heard that right. So here we are at the president's punch-up as their legal teams set to work. Firstly, Judge Sutherland does not take any prisoners. Well, I suppose he does, but you know what I mean. He hasn't got time for Daliisms, those soliloquies that take an age to say absolutely nothing. No, Sutherland cut him short the moment repetition or irrelevance kicked in. Are you ready for the jaw drop? The true game behind this ridiculous story? The president, the current one, introduced that step-aside rule that basically says if you are in a court process of wrongdoing, spurious or not, you have to step aside. Dali and Ubaba started this court process in December, and then in January, Ramaphosa called for an urgent interdict to halt the process. Cupcake stated the obvious, but here's the rub, my friends. Ramaphosa waited to call for this interdict. He waited from December to now, and that means, to Dali's point, that there is no urgency to this urgent interdict, or the president would have dealt with it immediately. To be fair to our seated president, he did write and tell Zuma that he must be off his meds if he thinks this is going to work, and that this is a waste of everyone's time and money, and to retract. He asked Zuma to reconsider, and with that, Zuma released a second call for court. The devil is in the detail, folks, and as much as I loathe to admit it, Dali is actually quite smart. I say quite smart because this is never going to work, is it? Is it? The presidential punch-up. Then we have the darkness and the mafia. You got into your car after your short left in December, and the moment you got home or the moment your kids had to go to school, the lights went off. Look, I'm not saying December was without its load shedding challenges, but to take us to stage 6 or stage 6, the second we return is a bit rich, isn't it? Nope, actually, this is a bit rich. Eskom wants a 32% price hike for services we never actually get. It's literally charging for darkness. Nice work if you can get it. The biggest ruse of all is that this is not a state of emergency. De Ruyter bailed, but not before he said that they tried to poison him with a cup of tea at Megawatt Park. I've been there. The tea is murder. Look, I suppose I believe him. All I know is that we are now leaderless and in darkness. Then we've had yet another murder with Fort Hare's Vice-Chancellor's bodyguard, Vasele, gunned down during an assassination attempt on Professor Bulungu's life. We also read that the curator appointed at Optimum Gupta Mine had resigned because of death threats to him and his family. Really dark and really mafia. Boksburg explosion, the death toll keeps rising as we're told that 40 people have lost their lives when a tanker went under a low bridge. The tanker carrying LPG gas burst into flames and exploded, destroying the bridge and surrounding areas in scenes that looked like they came from Ukraine. A mother buried 4 of her children. Imagine the horror. We are told the trucking company has been cleared of wrongdoing, and this is PRASA's problem, because the sign indicating the height of the bridge wasn't legible. Shall I say that again? Or will you read that again? The tanker was carrying LPG gas and didn't see the sign. But the trucking company have been cleared through an independent audit. I have so many questions. Was it the first time that they took this route? Was it the first day on the job for someone to carry lethal cargo through the streets? And the sign? My friends, we have potholes the size of those tankers. Something is off, really off with the story, and so many people died, so many scarred for life. In other news, Cape Town had millions of tourists pouring over the silly season. One of them died while paragliding off Lion's Head. Someone had the gall to rob gift of the givers. Joost's chickens have come to roost as the courts ruled that he cannot be a director for 20 years and he had to pay some change. Across the ponds, COVID is back in China. We don't really talk about that. Ken Block died doing what he loved. Africa is Ebola-free. Russia and Ukraine have been at war for over a year now, and Pele left us with a legacy that will live with football fans forever. The top story across the world is Prince Harry, or ex-Prince Harry, just Harry, spilling the beans on the royals with his book called Spare. It should be titled Spare Us. Because my word, what a load of cobblers. Talk about a spoilt brat and an eagerness to stay relevant. This is just astonishing. The media was filled with leaked copies of the before the shelf date. Literally, I watched the best PR strategy turn into the greatest PR crisis he has ever been involved in, and there have been many. Even the Taliban are at the door waiting for that book signing event, as Harry told us he killed 25 people in Afghanistan and considered them mere chess pieces. This is what happens when you take a great PR strategy and give it to a dimwit. Sorry, I'm not a royalist at all, as you can tell. And these two make me want to get back onto my boat. It's the weekend. I'm Tonya Curry. I have a date with an octopus this weekend and some shiny, happy people holding hands. Thank you for scratching the surface with me. And here's to another year of laughing at ourselves.